On a special doubleheader edition of Schmoedown today, we are making history as we have our very first Patreon player who is competing in an official movie trivia Schmoedown match, and his name is Matt Cruz. He will be taking on Rosie Knight, who will also be making her singles debut. Has competed before, but that was an intergeekdom, a little bit different scenario here. And then we also have a team action horseman rivalry continued. It's Ben Bateman and John Rocha. Can't wait for this doubleheader action. Let's find out what happens now on JTH Reacts to the movie trivia Schmoedown.
Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine, and I dream broken dreams. I'll make them come true. I'll make them for you.
Welcome back. So, funny thing has happened. What happened was, obviously, as many people know, the John Rocha, Ben Bateman match was a Patreon match. Because I was trying to do something a little bit different to try and shorten my reactions for Friday, potentially to try and quicken the key of converting the videos and potentially uploading them faster. I've already reacted to the Ben Bateman John Rocha match. So, of course, knowing how long that reaction in that video was, I scroll to around the time that the next match would have started, because we were informed that this was going to be the undercard, Bateman and Rocha. I scrolled to that time, and the Rocha Bateman match is halfway through, which means that my video is going to be a little bit out of order here. So, I've already reacted to the Rocha Bateman match, as I've said. However, to keep faithful to the video as it's uploaded, I'm going to mix the order up. So, the latter recorded version, also known as this version, is recorded after reacting to Rocha and Bateman. Although when you see that reaction after this, it will be prior to, so I will not refer to this match at all. So yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. Originally, I thought about just doing them in the order that I reacted them to, but they posted them in that order. I'm guessing that's the order they would like to see them, done. So I will do it in that way. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of editing around and a little bit of editing magic that's going to need to be done. So thought we were going to be talking about recapping Rocha and Bateman, but because that's not in the video yet, I can't talk about that yet. So I guess I'm just going to do a snippet after this match, and I'll do a wrap up and just post it at the end of Rocha and Bateman. So let's talk about the undercard match, which I thought was going to be the main bout. Rosie Knight versus Matt Cruz. Obviously, this is now a big deal, as mentioned, because this is a Patreon player is taking part in Schmoedown. Rosie Knight. I was very adamant and made very clear, I made no bones about it, I was not a fan of the way she conducted herself as a player. I'm sure that's not how she is as a person, but the way she conducted herself as a player, I had a huge, huge problem with. As many people may remember, in her match with Keaton in the Intergeekdom tournament, she did the whole, the game is fixed, this match is rigged bullshit, which I cannot stand. I hate with a passion and a half players who, hurt the integrity of the game for the simple purpose to get heat as a character. Don't need it, don't want to see it, cannot stand it. Hopefully that was addressed, because I just simply do not want to see stuff like that. It just is not needed. There are other ways you can get heat as a bad guy, per se. So, because I made that very adamant in the comment section in that master post that got quite a bit of support, including from Chris Stilitsky, who's a question writer on Schmoedown. Then made my opinion known on Take Three's Reactor Summit that week. Just don't want to see it. I cannot stand people that make statements like that. It doesn't help anything. It hurts. It does nothing but hurt. So hopefully that was addressed, nipped in the butt. We don't have to deal with that anymore. So as far as the match, Rosie Knight, Matt Cruz, I would assume that Matt Cruz would not be getting this shot unless he knows quite a bit about his movie trivia. So even though it's the element of the unknown, and I'm taking a risk, even because I've obviously seen Rosie Knight play, even though she was not victorious, the spotlight may play a factor, but I'm going to take Matt Cruz. I'm going to represent the Patreon, represent the people. So let's see how this plays out. So let's get on with the reaction. The undercard thought was main bout, but not. Yeah, I could go on ad nauseum about that. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this in 3, 2, 1, play.
I'm Rosie, the Dark Knight, and I'm here to show what a shambles.
You're also going to notice that I'm wearing a different shirt when the next match happens.
It's boring to watch, and I'm kind of above it, but I just had to come in and show that the Schmoedown is full of schmoes. I'm the kind of person, she's the princess.
It's funny, I was all ready to talk about the Rocha Bateman stuff, and then realized that I can't do that yet. And that's what I was referring to. I don't even like that they're even still putting it in the videos, because it just doesn't. I don't like it. It's bad. Hurts the league. Just not necessary.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Hello, you.
Matt, he's one of our
In
patrons.
a Lakers jersey.
I think you're a good competitor. I respect you. I think you're very smart. And, I think you showed you did your thing. I'd like to play you in a match. Do you accept?
Yeah, of course I accept.
The Dark Knight Returns. Ah, what a great pun. The Dark Knight Returns. I mean, like I said, I'm very, very almost positive it does not reflect Rosie Knight as a person. I just wish that the character that she played, I wish they had, told her in advance, hey, there's some things you probably shouldn't say. That's probably one of them. Psh, a little bit late on that one. So, hopefully that's addressed. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that. Hello, Mark. Hello, Ken. And, spoiler, we will see them again. Obviously, I know that, because I've seen the match already. Not this match, the match that follows. Which we were not told that.
Who is not a member of the Patreon. If you're not a member of the Patreon, by God, you should be for no other reason, Ken, because our undercard is happening today because of the Patreon.
Wow, you just said a lot of wonderful things there. These lucky son of us getting to see things early. I don't even get to see them.
No, I generally get into press screens for free, so I'm used to seeing things early and very often. But Kren, when you really break it down, you look at this undercard we have here today, and you may want to call it an undercard. I call it history being made, because for the very first time, Rosie Knight is going to be entering the singles competition, and just as importantly, Matt Cruz is going to be her challenger. Now, Matt Cruz, an interesting story because he was a patron, and there's a tier where you can actually audition to be in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. He did that process a number of times. Our beloved Christian Harloff watched him. He said, I think this kid's got something special. He's putting him in a match, and one of the reasons why he was so inspired, Matt Cruz was because of Rosie Knight's attitude after she lost to Keaton Markey in an Inner Geekdom match. Shed some light on this for us, Kenneth.
Wow, you're saying a lot of wonderful things here. Let me start first with the term undercard. That's just warm-ups for the main eventers of tomorrow.
I'm just reading the prompter.
That's
really.
What actually it's just.
Oh, at least he's honest now. Teleprompter. Thanks, George W.
That's why I look at undercards. It's a chance to prove that.
Well, actually, that's not true. George W. couldn't read a teleprompter. At least Mark can do that.
Here's the thing, you and I both have known Christian Harloff since, well, longer than the gray in my beard cares to admit.
1973.
Yep, that's right. We met at a Steely
That's
Dan
a couple cups of
concert.
coffee.
I'll tell you what. Christian Harloff knows talent. He knows talent. He picked me out of a trash heap. He picked RB3, who's holding that card out of a trash heap, and turned us into gold. If he saw something in Matt Cruz, that automatically makes him dangerous. But what I saw for Rosie the Dark Knight,
Christian Harloff knows talent, and me,
she's very
not it.
insightful. She's very quick-witted, and now mean. And she got off to a start.
I can cut a C+ promo. That's about
and
it.
I think that opens up her mind to a lot of different movies and not pigeonholing.
Don't hold pigeons, and certainly do not hold grudges. And that's really the key with Rosie Knight here is can she turn over a new leaf and actually be excited? Because ever since Christian and I were taking our shirts off to get into Studio 54 in the late 70s, we talked about how we want competitors who care about being in the league. Rosie Knight seemed to have a sour attitude. Maybe she was just doing what her soccer fandom indicates and she was just faking it. So maybe now she's back to saying, hey, I am ready to compete. But Matt Cruz not happy with her attitude, and he knows a little something about movies. So we're going to see who can prove it here today. We had quite the words before the match. Here's a quick,
See.
The reason I'm here today is just to show this little patron kid that he's not going to have an easy ride. You know, I kind of messed up last time. I didn't know the stuff I thought I knew. Keaton she's a hard match, you know, but this kid, I'm going to walk all over him.
My name is Matt Cruz. I'm the first
Hi,
Patreon
Matt
competitor here in the
Cruz.
Schmoedown. I've been here a couple times. I've driven all the way out here from the Inland Empire, and I've sat here and I've watched match after match, and I've loved it. It's been a big treat for me. But one of these times that I came to sit here for a match, Rosie Knight was competing, and I like Rosie Knight as a person. Rosie Knight is awesome. I think she's funny, and I think she's a really good competitor. But she was talking a lot of smack on one of my most recent trips here to the Schmoedown. I wasn't having it, man. I jumped up and I competed and I challenged Rosie Knight to our match here. So what's happening? I'm here for my singles debut in the Schmoedown, the people's debut in the Schmoedown against Rosie Knight. That's why I'm here.
So like I'm doing my first ever post interview. That's meant to be like an experience. You know, I lost. I didn't care. But, you know, I was having a conversation. And this kid just walks in and I never seen him before. He turned up. He got a train. And suddenly he's wants to match me. And, you know, it's ridiculous.
And I honestly do feel like it's a privilege to be here in the league. Every time I walk in, it's always like a second of like, oh shit, there's Dan Merle. Oh shit, there's John Rocha. Oh shit, there's somebody else that I know. And you know what? To see somebody come in here and kind of disrespect the years of hard work and dedication that these cats have put into making this game and building it to where it's at a certain point, you can stomach a certain amount, but once it gets to a certain point of trash talk, that's it, man. You gotta draw a line somewhere, and that's what happened. That's what I had to do with Rosie Knight.
In a geekdom, I was weaker. In places I thought I was stronger. I wasn't really prepared. I didn't learn the rules. I didn't think about multiple choice. You know, I studied up on the rules. I've been watching films since I was a little kid. It's less specific. Matt thinks he's gonna get an easy ride, and I'm here to surprise him, because it's not gonna be easy.
Rosie Knight, first of all, thank you so much for playing me. I really, really appreciate you coming out here and taking the time. Good luck, because I'm going to give it my all. I'm not going to leave anything back. We're going to see where this goes, but to be honest, I came to play, and I didn't come to mess around, and I didn't come in here to do anybody any favors today.
Look, Pitbull, you might be used to people petting you on the Schmoedown fan boards, but today, I'm going to walk all over you.
Ken, I've gotten the frog out of my throat, and you see that Rosie still, she's waiting for this league to impress her and Matt Cruz. Boy, is that kid just ready to go or what? He's waiting for the gates to open. He's going to come charging right at Rosie Knight in a metaphorical cinematic combat.
He's a pit bull. He's a pit bull. That name, I'm starting to see it there. You mentioned Studio 54. Did I ever tell you the night
Pitbull.
I started
Why
at
did you
Studio
like?
54?
Why did you
ended
like?
up the next
Who's those
morning
teeth?
in Atlanta naked. Did I ever tell you that story?
Anyway, Ken, we should get to the tail of the tape between Rosie Knight and Matt Cruz.
All right.
How
Tail of the
rude.
tape is as follows, sir. Rosie the Dark Knight, 0-0 in
Yes,
singles.
sir.
We know she had that loss in Intergeekdom. Throw that out. It starts new, and I had to go ask her, hey, what are your strengths in
Blockbusters?
this Schmoedown
Is
competition?
that a category?
Blockbusters, 80s, action, and of course, being mean. And then she did one of
Oh,
those.
you got that right.
Palpatine hunting cackles, like unlimited power. It was interesting. Pitbull, Matt Cruz. Pitbull, Matt Cruz. His strengths include Kevin Smith.
Happy to be
entire
here.
catalog, comic book movies, Pixar, and well, just happy to be here, but wanting to win.
Hey, I'm happy to be here too, and I feel ready. I know Steve LaBelle is ready. How about you, Ken Knapsack?
Absolutely, like Mike Myers on a bed doing coke in a bad movie. I'm here to
Then
play.
it's time to Schmoedown.
Schmoedown. Good thing I saw Rocha Bateman first, because I would not have remembered that that's how he did his intro. That time I was prepared.
You can go your own way, Mark. Here we go. Introducing first. Representing the movie trivia Schmoedown fan base and making his Schmoedown singles debut, the Pitbull Match Crew.
Yeah.
The Pitbull's got some red.
You were representing Schmoedown fans. You didn't come to me about what theme you wanted to play, because I'll give the theme a 3 out of 10.
And all of the Schmoedown fandom is as well. Wow. I'm not sure how that is going to affect him later on in the match. He may be raring to go, yelling into the microphone.
Yeah, that usually means I take a nap 5 minutes later. It's like my first match. All right.
That's how they usually work, and I don't understand.
His opponent, representing Collider Jedi Council and her own evil intentions, making her Schmoedown's singles debut, Rosie, the Dark Knight.
Yeah. George Thorogood, University of Delaware alum, I might add.
And there are a lot of boos to be brushed, Ken.
Look at that. I don't think she's affected by that. I think she feeds off that negative energy.
I really wonder what we're going to see in this matchup, because you have Rosie Knight, and I just want to look for the best in people, and so I think that she is still wrestling with the fact that she really does care about movies and cinematic combat. She just won't admit it. And then Matt Cruz representing an ideal more than just one man, a lot like Batman. Coincidentally, he's going up against the Dark Knight right now. Competitors, welcome to the movie trivia Schmoedown arena. I'm going to give you all the rules, and then we'll get going here in round number 1 of 3 today. You guys are going to hear 8 questions. These are 8 questions asked to the field from 8 different categories in the world of movie trivia. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round 1. As soon as the question gets asked from one of us up here at the answer desk, you have approximately 15 seconds to think of and then write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard with the markers that I bought at Target today. Once you guys do that, we will ask you by name to show your answer to the cameras with the whiteboard. At the same time, you verbalize it into the microphone. And we do not dock you for spelling, but we do need pretty darn good pronunciation with each one of these answers. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the match. If you need to hear a question again, you weren't sure you heard it, or you need to buy yourself some time, use the JTE rule, and you also each have 1 challenge to be used at any point throughout the duration of the match. Ken, you got any questions for these two before we get going?
No, just I want you to realize the JTE rules named after famed Ecuadorian basketball cheerleader, JTE Josh Tapia.
Nobody gets a glass of water quite like JTE. All right, Matt, you are the challenger. You are representing much more than just yourselves in Shaquille O'Neal's high school. Are you ready?
Did it for you, Mark. I am ready. Here's, in case you need to pick me up, Rosie. Let's make it happen.
All right, Rosie,
All right.
sharing some of his energy drink. I don't know if you need that. Do you feel ready to compete?
Let's do it.
Let's get ready to. It's time to. Let's get ready to Schmoedown.
It's time to let's get ready to. It's time to let's get it ready to. That was weird.
Asking the first question in this matchup here. We come from the world of action.
Let's pretend that
/
never happened.
adventure. These are movies that feature either action and/or adventure. Your question is, what is Jack Burton's profession in 1986's Big Trouble in Little China?
So it's me, Grace Jones, Andy Warhol, and of all people, George Will, in the Studio 54 security team.
Writing a baseball review.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We go to Rosie first.
Pork Chop Express baby truck driver.
That's right, 1 point.
Matt Cruz.
He's not a bouncer then.
He's
He is
not a
not, sir.
bouncer.
He is not.
But he could probably rip some throats out.
Better
if
answer what I gave. I
push
said
came to shove.
mailman. Truck driver's not a profession. I don't care what anyone
Second
says.
question.
It's a
comes in the
hobby
category
that
of
you just happen to make money for.
Directors. Who directed the 2001 version of Ocean's 11?
I'll see. There's a crew. I'd like
More
to go to,
director
some
questions.
Sort of,
Right.
Might as well tell me who the food caterer is.
Did I ever tell you the time I
Might
got
have a
called
better
in
chance to
Grizzly
get it
Bears
right.
2 weeks.
4, 3, 2, 1, 2 weeks.
Nope.
Pens down Matt Cruz.
Steven Soderbergh?
Give him a point and his very first point of his Schmoedown career, Rosie Knight.
Steven Soderbergh.
She
All
got
right,
it with
she's up
better
2-0.
spelling, as a matter of fact. And now we go back to the world of dramas. And your question is, who stars as Evelyn Mulray in 1974's Chinatown?
You ever, I waited 2 weeks to get tickets for the Two Jakes.
I believe that is the sequel.
Good thing this was not me for this match, because, oh boy, this would not be pretty.
3. Some birds loose in the studio, Ken. 2, 1. Pens down. We go back to Rosie.
Is it Faye Dunaway?
That's correct.
Go to Matt Cruz.
Ooh, it's not Jane Fonda.
Not Jane
Definitely
Fonda.
not. Definitely not.
Oh!
As much as the Outlaw would disagree with that notion, it
Yes.
is not Jane
All
Fonda.
right.
Jane Fonda is amazing, though.
She's great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic in everything she does.
9 to 5, one of the movies that changed my life. All right. Fourth question comes in the category of Oscars. Oscars. Steven Spielberg won his first directing Oscar for what film?
Jane Fonda also pioneered the advent of the aerobics workout bit.
I used the Thigh Master from Suzanne Summers more, but Jane Fonda is a legend. 5, 4, 3,
I don't think
2,
this is right, though.
and 1. Looking for answers starting with Matt.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
No, sir.
Does Rosie have it?
Incorrect. We're looking for Schindler's List.
Oh.
Schindler's
Jaws is a
List.
bad movie, man.
You know, Ken.
It really took that long?
Okay. All right.
She is the heel. She is the heel.
Yeah.
All right.
Remind everybody at home to please stop yelling at your computers. Rosie cannot hear you, but she can hear me say that she's inaccurate with that opinion. We move on to fantasy sci-fi. These are movies that take place in the world of either fantasy and or science fiction. Your question is, what is the nickname given to the stranded alien race in District 9?
I saw that movie in Tennessee, of all places. Don't ask me about that
What are you doing
year.
in Tennessee?
Are
not
these
hitting
questions?
the-
Next question.
Chili's 5.
4, 3,
I should have known the Oscar. I should have known the Spielberg
1.
question, though.
Pens down. Go to Rosie.
Prawns?
They were
Correct.
prawns.
It's bronze.
You
That is
got it
correct.
as
He's
well.
keeping pace. Keeping pace.
All right, Matt Cruz and Rosie Knight. Rosie enjoys a 4-2 advantage. She's only missed one so far, Ken.
Absolutely. Your sixth question comes in the category of comedies.
Comedy.
Comedy.
Me.
What
My trivia.
1999 mockumentary starring Kirsten Dunst follows a small Minnesota town's beauty pageant that becomes deadly when strange accidents start eliminating contestants.
I really hope each competitor uses all of their JTE rules.
For this one,
Because that was a long.
it was a long question.
You like to hear yourself
True fact,
talk.
I own this one on DVD. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go to Matt Cruz first.
Pageant show?
It is not pageant
Incorrect.
show. It is.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
It is
Drop
indeed
Dead
Drop
Gorgeous.
Dead Gorgeous. An
So
underrated
Rosie Knight,
comedy.
in
quiz
spite of the fact
show.
that she does not care about this game whatsoever,
Yeah.
is currently enjoying a 5-2
Come on,
advantage
Matt.
over
You're
newcomer
playing
Matt
for
Cruz,
the people.
lovely patron to the Schmoedown. We move on to horror thriller. This is your next
Oh, God.
category. Name the actor that played Lewis Bloom in 2014's Nightcrawler. This is not to be confused with the X-Men mutant of the same name.
I'm not a big Star Trek fan.
I think you're confused as to the universes. Get 5 to 4, a 3, a 2, and give me a 1. Rosie Knight first.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
It is Jake
Correct. She's
Gyllenhaal.
up 6-2.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right, he keeps pace 6-3.
Nope, not even gonna show my
There's
answer.
One more category.
'Cause it is
Round
not even
number
close.
1, and the honor goes to Ken.
Right. As a reminder, no one is perfect in this round, so this will be the final question of round 1. The category is animated. Animated.
Yeah, I might get this
What
one.
kind of animal is Gary Oldman's villainous Lord Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2?
You said nobody's perfect in this round. I believe that's true in life. Who's the most perfect person you've ever met?
Repeat the question, please.
All right, we have one JT rule. What kind of animal
Tiger
is
seems too
Gary
easy.
Oldman's
I don't think
villainous
it's a tiger.
Lord Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2? The answer to your question is Martin Mull.
I'm gonna put it though. I know it's not right though.
3, 2,
A tiger.
All right, looking for answers from.
Let's go to Matt Cruz.
Is he a leopard?
No, sir.
Is he a weasel?
No, no, it is a peacock.
He's a peacock.
Oh.
No.
He's a peacock. They got
Peacock.
feathers. They're a network logo. Come on.
All right. Well, that brings to the close end of round 1 there, Mark. 6-3.
I went
6-3.
0.
And I think that's what Matt
Good
Cruz had to do
Lord.
is get through the first round and still make it a competitive match because you're going to take your lumps when you're a newcomer to what it feels like. This is a lot different than playing along at home or even the auditioning process. Rosie Knight has been here.
That
before,
first round was
even
brought to you
losing,
by
and it is
whiteboards.
6-3 in her favor, but
You
round
can
2,
smash them
the
over your
points
head with them.
double,
You are
with each
stupid
question.
like me.
I will introduce the rules now for round 2. It's called the wheel.
I'm
round.
so
4
stupid.
reads
I
on
hope
which
I don't
one
get
is
lost
giant
on the
wheel.
way to
Your
LA.
Justice, your doom, maybe your fate as well. Each category on that wheel has 4 questions inside of it from a different corner of the movie trivia galaxy. We also have the
Like if you watched my reactions, you would have no idea how I even get attracted to movie trivia Schmoedown because I don't know movies at all.
Sponsored wheel slice.
I know some stuff.
One of our patrons,
Not enough that would make me. Not enough that would make you think I'd be a diehard at this.
Sponsor one of the slices on the wheel today. It is none other than the debut of Mr. Kurt Russell. How about a hand for Kurt Russell? He's on the wheel. Oh man.
Yay. I already gave him as an answer. He was wrong.
I'll be back for dinner in Malibu very, very soon. Each question in round 2 is worth 2 points.
It was a very weird wheel from what I saw. Spielberg, Russell, 2000s holiday movies.
In round 2, just so everybody knows, Rosie.
What in the world else is going to be on there?
You may not care about the game at all. Do you care who spins first or second?
It's Matt's first time, so I'll let him spin first.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
The keys
Go ahead, Matt Cole. Oh wait, Matt Cruz.
This could give Matt the
Maybe that'll be the running gag.
if
Matt
he
Cole.
navigates this wheel right. Spin away, sir. His first spin at the wheel.
Spin is in.
That was a very shy spin.
But you don't want to give a bad impression if you break the wheel on your first spin.
Or was he asking it to dance in 6th grade?
Oh, I like that. Everyone told me no. His choice is action adventure. Is he going to stick with it, or is he going to spin again? He's going again.
Spinning again.
He goes again.
That's
he gives
the
Yeah, there's a better
sign
spin.
for the DDT from Jake Roberts.
We
He's
just got
ready to go.
Schmoedown history. That is the first time
Trust
that a
me,
competitor
trust me,
wearing a
trust me,
sleeveless shirt
trust me.
has
That's
not
a
won an
great
action
theme.
adventure. They're cheering for Cameron Diaz over Kurt Russell, Ken. I don't know what is
That's
up
a
now
damn
inside
shame.
anymore.
That
He
might
might
have
have just
Oh, he was
2000.
sniffed around Spinner's choice, but didn't quite hit the target.
Matt, you spun 2000s. These are about movies that came out sometime during that decade. Ken Knapsack will be administering the questions to you. Best of luck not falling in love with his incredible voice.
All right.
I'll try my best.
4 questions in this category. Number 1 is, what was Gene Hackman's first name in the Royal Tenenbaums?
Multiple choice.
A. Tanner. B. Royal. C. Gene. D. King.
I mean, D?
Incorrect for Steel Rosie.
Hey?
Incorrect. He was Royal Tenenbaum in the Royal Tenenbaums. All right.
Yeah. I think the title's a little bit of a hint.
Possibly.
That sounded like one of those too good to be true questions, though.
It's one of my favorites. You want to just stop this, go home, watch it right now?
I would love to.
All right.
I'd love nothing more.
Christian and Cruz said no. All right. Question 2 comes in the category of 2000s. This you know. Who directed Wall-E? Who directed
Multiple
Wall-E?
choice.
A. Brad Bird. B. Andrew Stanton. C. Pete Docter. D. Peter
Pete
Son.
Doctor.
Give me Pete Doctor.
That is incorrect. Rosie. A. Brad Bird. B. Andrew Stanton. C. Pete Docter. D. Peter Son.
B?
That is correct for a point and a steal.
He got a steal, and so now Matt has to hit these last 2 without the aid of multiple choice if he hopes to be tied with Rosie when she spins the wheel.
All right. Matt, 3rd question.
Yes.
Who had a 2002 film role as a creepy photo lab technician?
Rob Williams.
That's correct for 2 points. There we go. There we go. There we
7
go.
to 5, and he is 1 correct answer away from tying this night, the Dark Knight.
All right. Final question in this round for you, man.
Yes.
In Collateral, a hitman named Vincent is hired to kill 5 people for a drug lord. Who plays the person that was his last target?
Repeat the question, please.
His second one, in Collateral, a hitman named Vincent is hired to kill 5 people for a drug lord. Who plays the person that was his last target?
Is it Zoe Saldana?
That is incorrect. Rosie
I don't
still.
know. I don't know.
Who you got, Ken?
It is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Ah.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
I was going to go with Barbara Hershey.
What?
I would have just went with Hershey, because Hershey's are good.
All right, well, it is now 7-5, and Matt Cruz, not a great second round, still getting his feet wet in competition play. Now it's up to Rosie. Unfortunately, I do have to ask you to spin the wheel. I know that it's more effort than you care to give this match, but here she goes.
Yeah.
Like a kid who I just told was grounded, walking up to the wheel. No phone privileges for 3 weeks. There goes
All right,
the
good spin. Spin is in.
The spin is away, Ken. We should start saying that.
Spin is away.
The spin is away.
Hits away. Negative. It's
Spin,
just a
spin
pack of
away.
Movies. Do you want to go with that?
Spielberg.
Or do you maybe want to spin Kurt Russell? She's going to go for Kurt Russell, but maybe she keeps Spielberg movies. It's a tough call. Everybody's seen a
She's
lot of
going
Spielberg
to
movies.
spin again.
She doesn't like Jaws, and she
That's
doesn't
a
like
good
Steven
spin.
Spielberg.
Don't like Jaws, don't like E.T., don't like AI, don't like Schindler's, don't like
I think we do it for number 2.
none.
We just do it for
Is
number 1.
Action Adventure, which is one of her listed
Action
strengths.
Adventure. Now, this is one that Matt Cruz could have taken and elected not to. Instead, he spun 2000s, and you wonder if he had that decision over again, would he make the same play? It is all about second guessing here in the movie Trivia
I'm
Schmoedown.
guessing not.
All right, Rosie, you selected Action Adventure. You didn't really select it. You spun away from one category you
Yeah.
hated.
You didn't
because
select
hate
it.
Jaws, and
We
then you landed
forced
on
you to
Action
take it.
Adventure because apparently you like that more than shark movies. Your first question, in Lethal Weapon 3, what do Riggs and Lorna Cole begin showing off to one another and compare what they have accumulated over the years?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, medals, B, scars, C, guns, or D, arrests?
C, guns.
It is not guns. Does Matt have it?
Is it Scars?
It is.
Stars, he's got the steal. He pulls it
It
in 1 point.
He
It's a
got
good steal.
Scars. That's kind of like that scene in Jaws, Ken, the boat scene. All right, Rosie, your next question.
Want to know how I got
although
these
Matt
scars?
has the lead. In what movie did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson first appear as the Scorpion King?
Mummy Returns.
The Mummy 3.
That is incorrect. Matt, your choices are not given because she did not select multiple choice, so you got to do it all from brain power.
Is it The Mummy 2, The Scorpion King?
It is not The Mummy 2. The title of the movie is The Mummy Returns.
Mummy
We needed The Mummy Returns. not
you-
Mummy
How do
Returns.
I know that and the players don't?
Rarely emotionally moved to that degree.
Third question.
All right. Rosie, your next question in the world of action adventure. In Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, who plays Sherlock's brother, Mycroft?
Shoot.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Bill Nye, B, Tom Wilkinson, C, Stephen Fry, or
Stephen
D,
Fry.
Eddie Izzard?
C.
It is C. Give
There
her
we
a
go.
point.
I knew I would
She
remember it
once
as soon
again
as I
has a
heard the
2-point
name.
advantage over Matt Cruz heading into the last question, and that is, what, Rosie, was the name of the secret organization that is the American counterpart to the Kingsmen from Kingsman: The Golden Circle?
Something, man.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, the Colonials, B, the Renegades, C, the Cowboys, or
The
D, the
Statesmen.
Statesmen?
D.
That's
Give
correct.
her 1 point,
All
and Rosie
right.
Knight has a 3-point lead going into round 3.
These are questions like I would have no idea unless I heard the multiple choice.
Well, I'll tell you
Well, except
what,
for the
there
Mummy
were some
Returns.
misses there
How do y'all
in
not
round
know
two.
that?
Not impressive by either competitor.
You got to see if Matt is maybe finding his footing, and Rosie sometimes.
Like it's
you know,
Dwayne
she
Rock
cares,
Johnson.
it's
He's
just
had a
is it
pretty
mental
good
strategy?
career.
I know she wants this win, so I'm curious to see how this plays out. She feeds off some of the energy from the crowd, some of the negative energy towards her, kind of like me when I get kicked out of the Jack in the Box drive-through. I use it for my own good, but I'm curious to see where they can take this in the round.
I
three.
want to hear more about that later. You get the feel going into round 3.
To be continued.
About to shift into the next gear. Will it be Matt Cruz, the patron, or will it be Rosie, the Dark Knight? Here we go. Pitbull versus a Batman nickname for round 3. Each competitor up there is going to give us 3 numbers. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. You cannot pick the same numbers as your opponent. Rosie, we're going to get your numbers first because you are currently in the lead by 3 points over the Pitbull. Those numbers correspond to a different movie trivia category up here at our answer desk. Your first question's worth 2 points. Your next question's worth 3 points. And your last one, should we need to get that far, is worth 5 big points. Rosie, which numbers would you like to correlate with your categories?
3, 17, and 9.
3, 17, and 9 it is. Matt Cruz, how about you?
I'm going to take 4, 8, and 16.
4, 8, and 16. Okay, there we go. I will be administering the questions to Matt the Pitbull Cruz. And here we go with your first one. You selected number 4, and that correlates to 90s movies.
Okay.
90s movies.
Struggled at 2000s. Let's see if you know
None are
90s.
the name Blue Chips.
Ah, if only.
Your question is, Robin Williams plays a character named Sean McGuire in what Academy Award-winning film?
Is it going to be Good Will Hunting?
2 points for Matt Cruz. And we stick with Matt for the three-pointer. This one could give him his first lead over Rosie in the match. You selected number 8. And Steve Young's number also correlates with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks,
Both great men.
popular actor.
He's had a pretty
handsome
good
young
career.
strapping man. And your question is, for 3 points, who plays Tom's brother in the 1984 film Splash?
John Candy?
He has taken the lead over Rosie.
I would not have known that.
It is now
Never even heard of that
11 to
movie.
9, and Ken, he still has his 5-pointer left to answer, so we go to you to ask Rosie her 2-point question.
All right, Rosie, to tie this up, you chose the number 3, which is the category the 2010s. The 2010s.
We're currently in that decade.
Yeah, but my
That's a
cards-
category?
All right. 2-point question. Who stars opposite Natalie Portman in the 2011 romantic comedy No Strings Attached?
Ryan Reynolds.
That's incorrect. We're looking for Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher. All right.
He
So
was on that show, Punked.
he
Oh,
was
The guy that ruined
so were you, weren't you?
I didn't say it for that reason.
2.5 Men.
I've memorized your IMDb. All right. Rosie, we stick with you here to take the lead. Your 3-point question, you chose number 17. 17. That category is family films. Family films. There are 8 films in the family film franchise Beethoven, about a pet St. Bernard. How many were released theatrically?
2.
3.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. We're looking for 2. 2. I'm a big fan
I know
of
my
Gross's work.
Beethoven
Beethoven's second.
Yes.
films.
All right. So it's come down to this potentially, but she can kick
Believe
it
that
over to Matt with his
Newton was
5-point
recast
question.
after the
Coming to
third
you now,
one, which is
Rosie,
why they
you
didn't
chose
bother to
the number
theatrically release
9.
any more of them.
The number 9. Number 9.
I think it was Judge Reinhold that
Is
took over the
9-9.
reins.
Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino. In Reservoir Dogs, Steve Buscemi's character hated his code name. What was his code name?
Mr. Pink?
Mr. Pink.
That is correct for 5 points. 5 points.
Okay, so
All
Rosie
right.
Knight kind of playing coy with Matt Cruz there until she really needed to hit the point. She did. She has forced the action of the Pitbull now, and this is going to be the last question asked in the match regardless, so let's all take a second to soak it in. And we're back with Matt Cruz selecting number 16. Now, again, Matt, this is worth 5 points, so if you get it right, you win. If you get it wrong, you lose.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's simple.
You selected number 16. Another San Francisco quarterback had that number. And for your 5-point question,
Dave Young?
Steve DeBerg.
Arr.
not going to dignify that with a response, for the win. Your category is fantasy sci-fi.
Mhm.
Fantasy sci-fi. And your question is, in the 2007 hit film Transformers, what is the name of Sam Witwicky's pet chihuahua?
Repeat the question.
Chico?
That's his third and final JT rule.
In the 2007 hit film Transformers, what is the name of Sam Witwicky's pet chihuahua?
Chico.
Okay, it's come down to this.
That's
In 4.
I'm gonna go with
3.
Rocky.
And your winner by a final score of 14 to 11, Rosie the Dark Knight.
oh well. At least we get to hear more of George Thorogood.
Looking for Mojo, like the potatoes at Shakey's. The Chihuahua was named Mojo, not to be confused with
Oh, Mojo. Mojo, Jojo.
Cruz here. What a barn burner of a match this was. Not a whole lot of questions answered correctly in round 1 or 2, but they really brought their best stuff when they needed it the most.
I think Rosie started strong, and then she did something a little second round.
That's fair. That's fair.
Then she hit that 5-pointer when she needed to. It's all about what the score is at the end of the game, right? So take that bad second round, throw it out. She's got the victory. She might be on her way to something new here in this division.
I think she's going to care a little bit more about future matches, but for his credit,
Maybe.
Cruz really came
That's
in here
debatable.
and gave a tremendous rookie performance. You can get nervous under the spotlight. It's different than it is at home. I think he adjudicated himself very nicely, and I don't think we've seen the last of Matt Cruz here in the studio. Hopefully he's got another high school basketball jersey next time we go.
Great job,
who I
Matt
believe did
Cole.
graduate from
Oh,
high school and
wait.
college at Florida State
Cruz.
University. Jen Starger, she'll have an interview with both the winner and the loser right now.
What's up, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? Jen Sturger here with Rosie. Rosie started off, strong, hard second round for you, and then you squeaked one out in round 3. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's better than losing. The second round was tough. I wouldn't have expected Action Adventure to kind of get me that way. Matt Stoll, I'm down on this a lot. He's a good opponent.
Yeah, were you surprised by him at all?
Yeah, I was. I talked a big game. I was like, oh, he's a Patreon. He paid to be here, but he knows his stuff. Didn't know enough, but yeah.
How do you feel like this match differed from your match in the Inner Geekdom? Did you feel more comfortable here?
I definitely felt more comfortable. I was intimidated by Keaton. She's so happy. She cares so much. It's very strange to me. This stuff also, it's kind of in your blood. You watch movies from when you're a kid, and it's kind of in your head, and it feels almost natural.
Except for how many Beethoven movies there were.
Yes, shockingly.
So what is next for you? Are you going to stick around here, maybe go back to Inner Geekdom? Who do you want to face next?
I know that, the singles tournament is down the road, and I just want to throw out there. I want to challenge. Challenge me,
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Jared?
Yeah, I know. I'm just popping in. Hi, Rosie. You don't know me.
No, I don't.
No, but you probably don't care to know me. Well, my name's Jared. I was playing in the Inner Geekdom. I played on a few different matches. Point is, I want to make my debut in the Schmoedown singles. And bad guys, bad girls, they kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth. And so, for my first match, I want to challenge you because you seem a little confident, a little cocky. You just won. Congratulations. But now I want to face you one-on-one in singles match. So consider this my challenge, my debut in the singles against you. Do you accept?
I accept.
All right. Let's do this then. That's all I need. Jen, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Great tan, by the way. Looks like you've been on vacation.
They just can't stop challenging me. Every single time I turn up here, guy just walks on stage and just needs to get in the ring with me. So cool, I guess.
Sounds like my dating life.
That's tough.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Rosie.
I know that didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it to. Was it the lights? Did you crash on the Red Bull? Like, what happened?
I mean, it may be a mixture of a little bit of both of that. It's probably just the lights. To be honest, I mean, also, it was just nerves. Mostly nerves going into it. I mean, it's a lot different playing at home than it is playing here. That's most things. It got to me. I'm not gonna lie. It got to me. I'm not gonna let it keep me down. Some days you win, some days you lose. Come to play though, I felt like I gave it my all. I left it all out there on the table. Maybe it didn't always seem that way. But,
no, you had a valiant effort, and especially in round 2, you had some great steals. And I think that your first performance here as a rookie was nothing to sneeze at.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it too personally. I'm gonna come back. I think I want to come back. I'm not gonna hang my head on it. I'm gonna keep training. I'm gonna keep preparing myself. Keep playing hard. Some days you win, some days you lose. It's never over, as long as you come back for another time.
Did you learn anything from this first time out?
I got a lot of good guidance. Yeah, I definitely learned a little bit, taking more time. I felt like I didn't rush things. I went to multiple choice when I needed to go to multiple choice. When I was like, who the fuck knows that? But, aside from that, I did okay. I did okay. I'm not disgusted with myself, which is not usual, so that's good.
So, who's next?
Who's next? I mean, whoever wants to come play me now. I'm 0-1. I'm not out here making requests or making demands. If someone wants,
But you're hungry for another match.
I'm hungry for another match. If someone's looking to get into the ring and prove something, you know, I'll be there at the table with you. We'll throw down and we'll see who comes out victorious. But you know, I'm not out there spitting in anybody's faces by any means after this.
You know what would be really cool?
What would be cool?
You versus Josh McCouga.
Me versus Makuga.
Energy drinks versus beer.
I would love this. Me and Makuga would party it up at that table. I don't think that table could handle us.
I don't either. I think the studio will combust. But it was a good shot.
Thank you, John.
Come back and see us again, all right?
I will be back, guys. If you haven't already, go to the Patreon. You know, some things you're going to win, some days you're going to lose. All that matters is that you give it your all. Take your shot. If you don't take your shot, you're never going to know.
Absolutely. And then you can't wear basketball jerseys on an internet show.
All right, Ken, well, you see that still, I guess people are going to be questioning Rosie Knight's dedication to competing in the future, but I think she has a bright future should she want to cash that card in. And Matt Cruz, a very dignified young man, I think somebody who is a nice ambassador for the league, certainly the Schmoedown Patreon. We appreciate his support there, and blazing a trail here today, even in a losing effort.
It's the first time I've seen someone guzzle energy drinks in a match and not fall asleep by the third round, and I think he deserves credit for that. And yeah, look, you come out, we talk about it all the time, Mark. Get under the lights, get up on the stage. It is different, and he attacked that. He was not afraid of that. He showed himself. And as far as Rosie, I got to tell you, you know, the Knights of Can, we're looking for people. I like her attitude. I like her attitude.
This is interesting.
It seems to work. And if you get the W at the end of the day, I like what it all adds up to, and the result is a positive in my book.
Okay, maybe an offer just made there on the table. That could be a little piece of Schmoedown history. Well, we want to thank you guys for watching this match, and make sure y'all stay tuned for the main event, Ben Bateman versus John the Outlaw Rocha. Right now, here's a word from our sponsor, Tab Cola.
Tab Cola.
There he is, the Outlaw. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
Hey, Mike.
John, I want to talk to you. Glad I caught you here.
Yeah.
People have been asking me, they keep for a while, that Clark match, who are you talking to? Who are you looking at in the audience? Who was there for you? It was you, buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say right now, thank you. Some people, when you do things for them, they don't believe in thank yous.
Right.
I believe in thank yous. So I guess I'm for you, as a thank you to you.
Yeah.
You know that stupid rule Christian's got with Thad? You got to win 3 to get a title match? Well, Thad and I, we got a little thing going on here. A little, you know, he listens to me, I listen to him, takes advice, you know. We're going to do it. Now it's going to be 2 wins to get a shot at the title.
Really?
Yeah, 2 wins. So if you know, you got Bateman, you beat Bateman.
Yeah.
Good shot at that, right? He's a good player, you can take him. And then, you know, you beat one more player. You beat the winner of, played the winner of Riley or Guy. You get a shot at the title.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay.
Oh, yeah, but wait.
Yeah.
What's the catch, Mike? I know you always got
Oh.
something up your sleeve. What's the catch?
My sleeves. Oh, no catch, buddy. Come on. I mean, you beat Bateman, and next match after that, big mouth guy. It's not really competition. And then, you know, I don't really like factions. You know, we've kind of got that out there. I don't like factions. So, you and Riley could be possibility. You know, 5 horsemen, 2 little horsemen, and the little horses coming at each other in a title match. You know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Think about it, champ.
That guy's good. That guy is damn good.
And welcome back. You're probably noticing I'm wearing a different shirt. I'm going to try something a little bit different since this is a Patreon match. I'm going to watch the Patreon match before the actual doubleheader actually drops. Just going to try something. Obviously, many of you know about my crappy internet connection, so if I watch the Patreon match early, then watch the feature match when the actual match drops, potentially, hopefully, you know, I can get the reaction done quicker. I can convert the video faster and can potentially even upload it faster. So that's the plan. Knowing me, that will not go as planned, but so we're gonna try it. If it works, yay. If it doesn't, boo. So John Rocha versus Ben Bateman. This is another one of those very highly anticipated matches. The stakes of this got raised a whole lot more when we found out that this match, along with the upcoming Andrew Guy Mark Riley match, has now become a mini tournament, if you will. The winners will then play each other for the right to face Bibiani for his first championship defense. No clue when that will be. I'm guessing it will be probably immediately after the tournaments are done, but who knows? Maybe they can squeeze it in between at some point. But yeah, we'll find out what is going to come of these particular matches. As far as who I think is going to win, I got to go with John Rocha. I like Ben Bateman, the character, but I like John Rocha a little bit more. Obviously, it would mean added stakes potentially going into a potential either John Rocha Andrew Guy match, which has been kind of a hyped up big deal, or we may potentially get a fourth 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not the 4 horsemen, it's the 5 horsemen, so yeah, 4 is not a big deal. The fourth encounter of John Rocha and Mark Riley. So yeah, John Rocha winning kind of adds a whole lot more of interesting possibilities. But at the same time, Bateman winning, you potentially have, action players playing each other, or you have Bateman and Riley, who are going to be Anarchy teammates, playing each other. So, yeah, forget everything I said. Whoever comes out on top in this is going to be interesting. So let's not waste any more time. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, play.
It's time to pay the piper, boys. Dress up. I want you to dress up because you're going to your own funeral. So wear black.
At least they wore black. Where you go?
One of the only teams in the league that has gotten 4 wins in a row. You guys are going to be going up against Above the Line.
Above the who? They're not around anymore. Oh well.
Today we did not play our best game and we lost to a very, very, very boring team. Somebody's diapers needs to be changed, Jan. Hey, guess what? We'll help you. We'll help you in a short amount of time. Enjoy your loss.
If they win, they'll get the #1 contender match. If Action wins, they will get a title match.
You guys want us to play a team that we already dispatched, a team that we and everyone else agrees.
I wonder what happened here.
Spectacular. Team action.
Oh, this happened. Boop, 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 boop. What the fuck? God, that feels like yesterday. It's hard to believe that was already 9 months ago.
I'm so frustrated with dealing with ridiculous team matchups. Just give me a singles match, okay, Emma?
And even though Ben Bateman is only 1-1, he has made a huge impact on this league with his attitude, his knowledge. He's challenging everyone.
Do something fun, Draco. Let's do this. Let's dance, all right? And your winner.
How'd that work out for you?
Doesn't matter. We're here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to avenge this loss. Okay? I'll be back. I'll play that moron Mance.
I got nothing to lose. Yes, this is happening right now.
The winner of this match
wasn't nominated for Captain Phillips?
Rocha.
What? Huh? Still one of the craziest things I think I've seen in Schmoedown. Like, that was just so weird.
You earned your shot. You did a good job. You took care of Mance. You were a kid, you were a rookie. You made your way. You've been talking about facing me, and now it's come. You and me, toe to toe. And this is to get into the singles tournament. You're not your goddamn mind if you don't think I'm gonna whip the shit out of you to get in that tournament. Because I want my belt back, boy. And I'm gonna take it from you,
call you
one
boy.
piece at a time.
Boy.
Little.
The hell you doing, boy?
Understand?
You know, Rocha,
What, you Yondu?
Last I remember, you were walking away when I kicked your ass in the free-for-all. So how about you shut your mouth?
How do you define kicking someone's ass? Are you
Bibs.
I recall saying bye, Rocha, and watching your ass walk out the door.
And then you walked
What do you call that?
right after me. And listen, I'm gonna send you some money. I'm gonna get you a suit that fits, not one out of a kid's gap.
So I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Because I'm sick of it. And they're sick of it. And I know they're sick of it.
Bateman, the boss. Like bounce. Like bounce. Who you got? Who you got? I already told you who I got. Did you not watch video? Shh. A little early. Darn it. Hello, Mark. Hello, Ken.
To the movie Trivia Schmoedown. My name is merely Mark Ellis. Over here is Afternoon Podcast.
Hello, Merely.
Knapsack and Ken, what a match we have.
Nice
for
to meet you,
everyone
Merely.
eventually, but first, all of our movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon supporters. Hello.
Do you know
That's
Shirley?
right, you signed up for a good match here today. This is literally and figuratively the battle of the ages. This is a long-running feud between not just
Nice one, Ken.
Rocha and Bateman.
Bonus
between
points.
Team
You
Action
get that.
and now the Five Horsemen. This has gone over a lot of different factions, a lot of different programs here. This one is it's coming to a head perhaps here today.
Yeah, you mentioned the individuals and you say Bateman. Well, I like that Ben Bateman, okay? And John Rocha, I work with him darn near every day, or at least that's what he calls my house. But when you put them on their respective teams or their factions in the movie Trivia Schmoedown, you got Team Action going against the Horsemen, and the stakes just continue to rise in this. This all started during the 2017 team tournament when
almost
it was like Team
a
Action, they kinda
year
looked
in the
up to
making.
Rocha because he was like the big heel on the block. Then they're like, hey, we like this guy. By the time they started competing against each other, Rocha had turned over a new leaf. He had found some sort of personal peace, and he was a nice guy. Team Action thought he went soft, and it has gotten worse from there.
Absolutely. Since then, Bateman and Guy have just kind of taken on this role as the most hated around here. They've just relished in it and sometimes get under the skin of their opponents. But Rocha's one of the ones that kind of, I think, developed that tactic, so maybe he knows how to combat it. Maybe he knows how to go against it. Get in his zone, like you said. Find peace, find God, find Zen, and take it out there to the arena.
Yeah, been a lot of famous matches in this history. Everybody remembers the tackle from our big event last
Ouch.
year, and that was just when, I mean, look, Top 10 had lost Action. Now they've beaten Action. Andrew Guy didn't like it. It got him suspended after he tackled Rocha, and then you have Bateman knocking Rocha out of this year's free-for-all. It just seems like that's pouring salt on the wound.
That's because he was drinking. Don't drink in Schmoedown. We've been telling you
we
that.
find ourselves in a scenario where, regardless of what happens, once Anarchy fully sets in the fall, this is going to get taken to the next level. The winner of this is going to play the winner of Guy and Mark Riley. Now, Mark Yodi Riley is going to be a teammate of Ben Bateman. So either whatever the matchups are, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be Anarchy, Ken.
This is why I kind of like what Anarchy has done. It's created potential matchups and teams that we wouldn't expect to have seen at all. But I think all that aside, this is about a true rivalry here today.
And we know you Patreon supporters probably asking, well, didn't Rocha have to win 3 matches in order for another title? Well, look, here's what Rocha has to do now because he's buddies with Kalinowski. He was rooting for him. So now John Rocha only has to have 2 victories under his belt before he can challenge William Bibbiani, the current title.
I didn't even think about that.
Ken, I might say. But Rocha, first, he's got to get through Ben Bateman here today. It's Action versus Horseman, and here's a look at what they were saying before the match.
So I'm here. I told you, no shows. You got a show. You got a bunch of other jackasses in this league that are going to give you a show. But you know what I'm going to do today? What I was born to do.
Ben Bateman, I respect you, man. You fought in this league. You've got to this position to take me on. You've done well on the tag team. You've beaten us with your Team Action team. You've beaten Top 10 before. You've surprised a few people, Ben, and I know you're studying the game. But there's no amount of studying you can do to get you ready for the Outlaw.
Now, when somebody shows you who they are, you take them seriously. John, he showed me who he was. Now I'm going to crush his spirit. Now I'm going to take everything that is dear to him and ruin it for him.
We'll see what you got, Ben, toe-to-toe. But my time is now as well. My time for the belt is here. I'm taking care of you. I'm taking care of who's next. And then I'm going to get that belt. I need it back around my waist. Two-time champion. That's what the Outlaw needs to be in the singles division. And that's what I'm going to be.
Since this interview started, I've acquired 13 companies. Do you understand what that's like? Do you understand what it's like to be me? Of course you don't. Nobody does. I'm going to show you what that's like today in the ring.
So, the boss, get ready. Your ass is about to get fired.
I got very little to say. Only one thing to do. And that's to make the Outlaw retire. Because it's time for the Horseman to end.
Oh, and one last thing. What has everyone learned about the Outlaw? Just when you think he's out, just when you think he's done, just when you think he can't do it again. He can, he does, and I will. Believe.
No
How do you
shortage
buy
of words for
13
either
companies while
opponent
you're doing
there.
a promo?
You got Ben Bateman yapping along. He's no stranger to talking into a mic either. What do you read?
I mean, the
Don't
gloves,
make
they didn't come
any
off, they were already
sense.
off.
I'm happy they're closed.
Flinging barbs back and forth. This is like a good bar fight about ready to happen here. A good bar trivia fight, if you will.
Hey, look at that. I played trivia at bars, and I have played trivia here on the desk, and I know under the white-hot spotlight, you can all throw the records out the window. It's who knows more on that particular day.
Okay.
I'm just happy to be here at the answer. No, we're up here at the answer desk. We have to
keep the records.
those kind of things. And actually, while you have something written down, why don't you give us the tale of the tape?
Tale of the tape coming in here. You have on one side John Rocha. His strengths, as we know, I'm going with the legendary strengths are known for westerns. John is amazing, but he also is a good expert on fantasy, sci-fi, and shutting up kids. Get off my lawn and get out of my trivia match. Whereas Ben Bateman's strengths include action/adventure, movie release dates, and silencing veterans. This is going to be interesting.
That's right, Ben Bateman, seen a lot of westerns. John Rocha, he was an extra in the movie Shane. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Well, with that out of the way, I'm ready to go. Ken, you ready?
I am ready.
It's time to Schmoedown!
They all say it differently, and you
Ken.
throw me off every time.
I think every announcer should
Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Really leading this party. You are
There,
providing the
I
color
took care of it
commentary,
myself.
and you are going to be doing the introductions without further ado, sir.
Without further ado, indeed.
Introducing first.
Introducing first.
Watch out!
And
Watch out!
2 defeats. Representing Team Action, Ben the Boss Bateman.
And here comes.
That's not.
I see the suit. I see the briefcase. I see the middle finger. That is not Ben Bateman.
Acting like Ben, but I don't know.
I thought that was Matt Nose there for a second.
Sir,
I mean, it's a nicer version of him. I don't know what's
Sir,
going
you're
on
clearly
here.
an imposter. This is not Ben Bateman. Ken.
He's got the briefcase.
We see the.
There you go. And dressed in black, ready for a funeral.
Kisses to camera.
A kiss. Some people cheering.
All right.
For Ben Bateman. He appears to be in the midst of some sort of.
I see a
important
Coke.
and he has
There's a
some
Coke
assistant
on there.
who now
No,
carries the
Pepsi.
briefcase.
Pepsi.
Ben, are all your affairs handled? Are you ready to compete?
Wonder why you drink Coke.
Take all the time you need. Okay, it appears that Ben Bateman has hired some manner of
like a scene in Devil's Wears Prada.
Yeah, some sort of intern where Ben Bateman once looked up to John Rocha. Now this intern might be looking up to Ben Bateman.
All right. Well, his opponent with a record of 8 wins and 6 defeats and 2 KOs. Representing the 5 Horsemen, he is the Outlaw, John Rocha.
Oh, tricked me.
Everybody's favorite, number 1 in your hearts, Mark Riley.
Look at that smile on his
The
face.
classic mask.
Ready to go.
Get up, there's the 5. There's 5 horsemen.
That,
One
that
of them
10
today
horse.
to accompany Mark Riley. And he's going to get the perch ready here for John Rocha.
Sitting down, holding up that 5. Usually it's a waiter at the all-you-can-eat bar telling me I can only have 5 trips. But
Sir,
this means something else.
sir, you have 5 more beers before we are going to call your mom to pick you up.
Mm.
John Rocha disregards the mask, and Bateman and Rocha, it's
playing with the oh, we've got some specs. Some
Those are
specs
ju- those
coming
are-
out. That's just for literal
those are
seeing.
for actual
yeah,
vision?
That's just actual vision.
How was your chanting, Rocha? Was it good? Great. Solid? You have fun?
John's not even responding to him.
Meditation?
Taking a sip of his non-sponsored beverage.
Oh, I was wondering.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Special delivery for Mr.
fan
Rocha.
has delivered a top secret box.
I wasn't sure if it was going to get here
I
on
don't
time.
have any fans
Open
to
that
deliver
in
me
the
stuff.
studio. I'm not
Oh, a Kleenex. Oh, another Kleenex.
Kleenex. Looks like my Friday night's happening here.
This is.
Oh, look at that! It's the new. He's going back.
Uh,
We've seen this work for him.
The blindfold is back.
Blindfold is back. I'll tell you.
Didn't help against Snyder.
For a second, that package looked like my Friday night indeed, but
Oh!
now this is turned into something else. John's going back to the strategy mark. We'll see some plays.
This must be so he can legibly write Jane Fonda, right?
I
That's gotta
want
be
to.
why.
I gotta be honest with
say
you.
one thing here.
Please, the floor is yours.
This is the blindfold I wore when I beat Christian Harloff, and I want to dedicate this match to Christian Harloff.
Okay.
And all he's been through, so sending it out to you, bud.
All right.
That makes
Very
a lot of
nice
sense.
words. From John Rocha and Ben Bateman, and we are getting ready to go. I'm just glad that what's inside that box was not some sort of creepy sex toy. All right. We are going to get going here as I read the rules for round number 1. In round number 1, as both competitors probably are already aware, you're going to hear 8
But
questions asked to the field
here's the
from
thing.
8 different corners of the movie.
If he wants to be
trivia,
blindfolded
galaxy.
when he
Each
plays the
question is
match,
worth 1
why
point.
didn't he
There's
just
no
wear the
penalty for question
mask?
in round 1. There's no
Come on now.
round 1. As soon as we ask the
Simple.
question up here, the answer desk, please write down your best.
Then you're
answer
blindfolded and you're
answer
completely
on
in
the whiteboard and
character.
pens that are on the house. Once we ask you by
Be
name,
creative,
you
man.
reveal your answer. Please show your answer on the whiteboard to the cameras at the same time you verbalize it into the microphone. Competitor's going to have about 15 seconds in the entirety of the match per question. I remind each competitor of the 3 JTE rules you can use throughout the match. If you're not sure you heard a question properly, you want to ask again, or you just need to buy yourself some time, use the JTE rule. And each competitor also has 1 challenge if you're not sure you agree with how a question was ruled. So, John Rocha, you're blindfold. Is it ready to go? Is the rest of your personage prepared?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, Ben Bateman, it's not too much trouble. Are you ready to go with your busy schedule?
Waiting for this day since
With
I joined the
busy
Schmoedown.
schedule.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Yay! You almost got me there.
Kicking off will be the esteemed Ken Knapsack. Ken, what category do we have to greet our competitors
All
first?
right, question 1 comes in the category of action/adventure. Action/adventure.
Do you need multiple choice on this one, Ben, or can you get it?
Should probably focus on not losing, right?
All right, here you go. In what movie will you see characters John Patrick Mason, General Francis X. Hummel, and Stanley Goodspeed? General Francis X. Hummel.
I think you got it right.
Yeah.
And we'll see if each competitor is able to get this right. In a category they both know very well.
All right.
Going to move to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, John Rocha first.
I don't know. Con Air?
That is not correct. Does Ben Bateman have it?
Been the greatest honor of my life to serve with you, General.
He certainly does. It is The Rock.
Ah,
Okay.
damn it.
You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
wonder
Mad
if the
Max.
blindfold obscured his knowledge.
Yeah.
As we move on to
like that.
animated, these are movies drawn
that
by
taste.
hand or on a computer. Your question is, in the Disney film, The Sword in the Stone, name 1 of the 3 animals Merlin transforms Wart into during his lessons. Need 1 of the 3.
I have a wart that the doctor said is transforming into a problem.
We're not talking about that Wart.
Okay.
It's a character in the film,
Oh,
I
thought-
believe. This is not the
We're on air?
medical Schmoedown. 5, 4, 3,
I believe a fish was one of them.
1. Pens down, go to Ben Bateman.
A fox.
That's
We
incorrect.
Cannot accept the fox. John Rocha, do you have it?
I don't know. Snake?
Not a snake either. We would have taken a fish, would have taken a squirrel, or a bird, particularly a sparrow.
I've never seen it. So.
All right. Third question comes in the category of dramas. Who is the writer, director, and star of 1996 Sling Blade?
You gotta wonder how you actually negotiate writing down an answer while wearing a blindfold. If it affects the handwriting. He's had handwriting issues in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I bring
If I
it up.
get soap in my eye in the shower, I've fallen out before.
5, 4,
This is not right.
3, 2, 1.
Kurt
Pens down.
Russell?
John Rocha first.
Billy Bob Thornton.
It is, in fact, Billy Bob Thornton, Ben Bateman.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay.
I'd like to suggest that the outlaw, instead of having to hold the thing up with one hand and write with his answer clearly legible on the table, I don't want to be called for cheating when he's writing his answer like this.
It seemed like I could read it just fine,
I
so
trust
we
you.
will let it play. We
If
go
you
to
cheat, that's on
movie
you.
quotes.
See, he's at least
movie
honest.
Quotes is next category. In what
He's an
sci-fi
honest
comedy
asshole.
will you hear the following quote? I want the people to know that they still have 2 out of 3 branches of the government working for them, and that ain't bad.
I'd take that now.
I think 2018, we all would accept that as a win.
Sci-fi comedy? No.
Okay, and they're both scribbling down the rest attempted an answer.
What
And we go
sci-fi comedies
5,
are there?
4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down, Rocha. Ben Bateman.
Mars Attacks.
It is
That's
Mars
correct.
Attacks. John Rocha, did you have it?
Did not
Get the
have
fifth
it.
I don't
Did
even
not
know that was a
have it.
comedy.
All right.
All right.
Like the only sci-fi comedies I could think of was Galaxy Quest, and Spaceballs.
Of fantasy
And I know that quote wasn't coming from any of them.
What repeated 3-word phrase does Caesar use to unite the apes throughout the 2010's rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy?
The name Caesar reminds me of a question I want to ask you. I give you one salad from anywhere for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
What salad you taking?
I'm going to Wood Ranch and the tri-tip salad.
Replacing it with chicken, and I'm on your team. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Please repeat the question.
Oh, one for Ben. We've got what repeated 3-word phrase does Caesar use to unite the apes throughout the 2010's rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy?
Okay, so anyways, barbecue chicken just to be safe.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Chipotle
Okay,
ranch on the
but
side.
I like the steak. Yeah.
5, 4, 3,
Apes
2,
together
1. Pens down,
strong.
John Rocha. You have the first shot.
Apes Together Strong?
That is correct. Does Ben Bateman have it?
Apes Strong Together.
Ah, so close,
Oh.
but it had to be in the right order. And Ben Bateman now sees his lead shrink to 1, 3 to 2. Our next question is in the world of movie release dates.
Oh, there you go.
My God,
Your question is,
movie release
Paul
dates.
Verhoeven's action sci-fi thriller Total Recall was released in what year? Ben Bateman defeated Scott Mance. And
Yeah,
Scott Mance, very good trivia competitor.
Yeah, and this is in that.
One of the better matches I've ever seen.
Category, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1997?
1. Pens down, Ben Bateman.
1990.
That is correct.
John Rocha.
Nope. 1986.
No, off by
Okay.
6 years.
Oh,
4-2 lead. Going into question
It's
7.
a good guess, Rocha.
Question 7 in the category of horror/thriller. Horror/thriller.
That's
Well,
way
these are
off
all
on that.
categories I'm not good in. Interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Which installment of the Final Destination franchise is focused on a group who escaped death from a roller coaster disaster?
Your favorite roller
Now, when you
coaster.
say which, so do you mean like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or do you mean the name of the movie?
Which installment?
Okay.
Anyway, back to my question.
Favorite roller coaster?
Yeah.
Riding down Laurel Canyon in my Camry.
I was going Loch Ness Monster Push
I
Cars.
remember
You
seeing
win.
something about a roller
5,
coaster, one of them.
4,
It was
3,
recent, so I'm
2,
guessing it was 5.
1. Pens down, John Rocha.
No clue. Fifth?
That is incorrect. Ben Bateman.
Final Destination 5, The Final Destination.
We're looking for Final Destination 3. 3.
So Ben loses a chance to capitalize there and extend
Not
his
as recent
lead.
as I thought.
That's the one where death comes back to haunt the other kids
Yeah.
that survived, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, our last question
there's one more?
in
Okay.
round 1 is a Patreon question.
Oh.
And this question comes to us from John Pattison. Thank you, John, for supporting the show. We appreciate your patronage.
Good
Wanna
job,
check out more of the Movie
John.
Trivia Schmoedown? Just
Talk
go to
about
John
Patreon,
Pattison,
John, not
or
play
you guys
John.
can check out the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, select which
John,
tier is
John,
right
John,
for you.
John,
One day
John.
you could have your name called where I just said John Pattison's. He wanted the category of comedies, probably because he's seen Rocha do stand-up. Our question is, that was not a burn. John Rocha's performed stand-up, and he's very funny. And now the crowd hates me. In what
You got burned on
Pennsylvania
your
town
bun.
does Phil Connors get stuck reliving the same day over and over in Groundhog Day?
The people laughed over
What's
the
the
first
name
one.
of that city? It's got to be the one with the groundhog. Yes. I can't remember. Starts with a P.
Yeah, Rocha, I'd say a solid 3 for 3 on his stand-up
I was
comedy.
there the last time. It was definitely
You
entertaining.
introduced him.
I did.
Came on stage with a
Spelling
transcript.
count?
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I'm
4,
asking the same thing.
3, 2, and 1. We go to Ben Bateman.
Pittsburgh.
It's not that.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Looking for John Rocha's answer.
Punxsutawney?
That is
Yeah.
close enough,
Punxsutawney.
and we are going to be leaning
That,
on the spelling for Punxsutawney.
That does not look as much like a Punxsutawney.
He did it blindfolded.
It
and
started
Ken,
with
I'm
P,
not
but-
really good at math. Did either competitor pitch a perfect?
Damn it.
No, sir.
No,
No,
it's
sir.
actually 4 to 3.
No,
so
sir.
we're waiting for each legend in the Schmoedown to really show their true teeth and colors. We move on to round 2. In round number
Yeah,
2,
they
the
played
wheel
like me in
of
that
justice
first
turns.
round.
Your fate appears.
Now I feel
and there
better.
are 10 slices from 10 different corners of the movie trivia galaxy, along with your favorite spinner's choice and your dreaded opponent's choice. Each category is going to contain 4 questions from that particular movie genre. Each question's worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, there is stealing available in round 2. If you get asked a question, you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us to provide you with multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options. One of those is the correct answer. And I'll remind everybody out there watching that today's match, we have a wheel that is sponsored by our Schmoedown patron, Emmanuel Ibanez. Emmanuel, thank you so much for sponsoring the wheel, and the sponsored wheel slices, Ken, for today's match are 90s and fantasy sci-fi. And a third wheel slice for today's match was
How
sponsored by one of
about
our
that?
Schmoedown patrons. That sponsored wheel slice is Oscars. So a lot of Patreon magic here, and they're the ones watching this match first. Ben Bateman, you
Along with me, I'm actually
have
doing
the
it too.
option to spin
Which
first
I don't
or defer,
usually.
and I will point out your opponent's
I
already
should take
standing.
advantage of the tier.
He can walk over to that wheel and he can spin it first. That would be great.
Here we go.
All right, well.
John stumbling over
Stumbling
like
over.
me.
No
at
low
my
bridge pranks,
50th
people.
Birthday.
Let's be nice.
Very
Like playing-
slow draw.
It's like the
There you go. Other way. Left. 5, 4, 3.
Get on
Okay,
with
you got
it.
just in the nick of time.
the-
All right, go ahead and spin it. Way to show up on time, Riley.
that was dicey. There was like a
I was worried about him. Yeah.
weird version of Pin the Tail on
Looks
the
like my-
Donkey from my high school graduation party.
Look at my grandfather stumbling to the bathroom at 3 a.m. And we're looking at 90s.
90s.
He's
gonna
sending.
spin again.
Oh, I was waiting for them
Spin
to
again.
shit with them.
Hesitation there.
Spinner's
Stumble
choice,
back.
spinner's choice.
Here we
We
go.
lied,
Throw with the blindfold.
Holmes.
He's looking like the characters at the beginning of Old School coming out of the sex
Even
club.
Ben's laughing. Ben can't get enough
All
of
right,
it.
and it looks like he might have spun something he didn't want. Oh.
Oh.
Denzel Washington
Lucky,
movies
lucky
it is,
fool.
and it is
Or as they always said
Denzel
on Beat the
Washington.
Geeks,
He is
you
an
lucky
actor of note, starring
bastard.
St. Elsewhere, and you are going to answer 4 questions about Denzel Washington from the mouth of the golden voice of Ken Knapsack.
By the way, I interviewed Denzel Washington, cast it on Collider
Oh, we're
Video.
going to ask our
All right.
first question.
All right, that's great. You can follow me on Instagram at Cadnaps. All right, 4 questions in the category of Denzel Washington. Question 1. Who played Denzel Washington's co-lead, Michael Stigman, in the action comedy?
Oh, that was
Gotta wonder if he's going to get this one, Ken.
Mark Wahlberg.
Was it?
He seems to be milking it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like he's been in Transformers.
5, 4, 3.
Mark Wahlberg.
Thank you.
That's 2 points there. That's 2
Right,
points.
I gave him a quick count because I felt like he was.
That's fair. That's
felt like he
fair.
was pulling
I
on some udders.
apologize. That was close.
An utter joke on Schmoedown.
All right, second question. Second
I've
question.
been watching How to Act by Ben Bateman. Yes, go ahead.
Who plays the? All right. Who plays the mad bomber that Denzel Washington uses time travel to catch in the 2006 film Deja Vu?
Oh crap! Now this is legitimate. I don't remember.
You know.
When you have to say it's legitimate,
Tried
it's
Wolf a
usually
few
not
times, I'm
legitimate.
not buying into it anymore.
Well, you know about that, Ken. All right, multiple choice, please.
4.
All right.
Okay, he
A,
might have been
Val
somewhat
Kilmer.
honest.
B, Doree Scott. C, Wes Bentley. D, Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel.
That's correct for a point.
Okay.
All right, third question out of 4. Third question out of 4. What instrument does Denzel Washington play in Mo Better Blues?
Trumpet.
That is correct for 2 points.
All right.
Mo
Rocha
Better
accelerates
Blues.
to an 8 to
I'm
4
guessing it's
lead
not a
over
flute.
Bateman.
John, your final question, the category of Denzel Washington.
Or-
in the
or
Book of
bagpipe.
Eli, what is unique about the version of the Bible Eli has, other than it being the last one?
He memorized it. Like he memorized it.
Is incorrect. Incorrect.
Okay.
Ben? For an answer here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's written in a special kind of ink.
Is incorrect. Looking for it. It's written in Braille.
What was it?
Braille.
Oh, Braille.
Braille, the guy with no blindfold, didn't get the Braille question right. Very interesting, and now we've given Rocha a bit of a hard time, but now it's Ben Bateman's turn to get into the hot seat. So, Mr. Bateman, step on up there, or have your assistant do the chore for you. You can spin the wheel, and you find yourself trailing by 4.
So, I'm sorry, his Bible is in Braille? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a Braille Bible.
Because I thought he was this.
Bateman spinning here. Bateman spinning here.
It's a good movie.
Spin is in, spin is in, spin is in.
I like Ben's a good guy. He and I had a 3-hour conversation about Huey Lewis the other day.
Huey Lewis cannot tour anymore because of the eardrums. It's a shame. All right,
Kevin Smith?
we might be looking at another one of
Oscars.
Oscar movies.
Oscar
He's gonna
movies.
go with
Oh,
Bateman
boy.
seems
Got your
pretty
strength.
happy.
Been getting Oscars a lot.
Spin.
That's his strength.
All right. It's Ben Bateman has spun Oscars, and Candy spun Oscars, and now since it's spun, the slice is provided to us by our patron Scott Curtis. Scott Curtis, thank you
right.
for
Patreon guy.
sponsoring the Oscars.
Us Patreon guys have been
award-winning
knocking it
himself.
out
Let's see
lately.
if Ben Bateman can take the lead back from Rocha right now. All right, Ben, your first question of a slate of 4.
I'm curious
As of
because
2018, how many times has David Fincher been nominated for Best Director?
it's funny that Oscars was put for this match, but let's see what it says first.
2, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's gonna be 2.
It, in fact, is 2.
Because
2 points.
at the time when we were doing the Patreon stuff, the Rocha Bateman match wasn't announced, so it was basically just Rocha's next match. So he had to have done it for Rocha. Little did we know it would end up being for a match with Ben Bateman, so that might have worked out for Ben.
So it'll be 5, 4, 3, 2.
James L. Brooks.
That's correct. Okay, he got another one, and he is all of a sudden tied with John Rocha.
Might be exaggerating a little
Now
bit.
we move on to your next question. Who sang the Oscar-winning song "Secret Love" from the 1953 Western comedy Calamity Jane? That is a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
Deep cut.
Let's go to multiple choice.
I can provide that. Is it A, Marilyn Monroe, B, Doris Day, C, Jane Russell, or D, Betty
Might be
Grable?
Doris Day. She's around that era.
You're going to need an answer in 5, 4, 3,
Doris Day.
2. That's 1 point.
Got it.
Hey.
1 point.
Maneuvered
used
his way
logic.
around that category, and now
Thank you,
we
Billy
have
Joel. We
your
didn't start the
last
fire. So
question
reason
in
I knew
this
she was even in that
current
era.
round.
You
And it
do
is
learn things from music.
Alan Arkin won his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for which film?
Little Miss Sunshine.
2 points for Ben Bateman, and he has an 11-8 advantage over John Rocha going into the final round. So Rocha built himself a nice little lead there, but Ben Bateman, he spun Oscars, he won at Oscars, it was a Patreon slice wheel, so there's some good mojo around it anyway. He enters round 3 with a 3-point lead again.
Yeah,
Well,
it just worked out for Ben.
Here, John, that has been
Because at the
good.
time we were doing the Patreon stuff for Rocha's match, that match hadn't even been announced yet.
Strong comeback in round 2 after disappointing round 1 for both competitors. In round number 3, this is the final round of the match.
All we knew that
is where
John
each
was going to
competitor
play,
is gonna
we just
give us
didn't know
up
who
here
it
the answer
was.
desk, a series of
So
numbers that range from 1 to 20. Ben, you're going to give us your number.
Ben might have caught a huge break on that one.
John Rocha. Each one of those numbers corresponds to a movie trivia category up here at the answer desk. Your first question we ask is going to be worth 2 points. The next one 3, and the last one, should we make it that far, 5.
It's been working
There's
lately.
No stealing,
Always pick
there's
2.
no penalty for missing a question. It's
Worked
you
for
and
Bibbs.
a test
I
of
worked
how much your
for
brain knows
Mark
about 3 different
and
movie trivia
Draco.
categories. Ben Bateman, your numbers from 1 to 20, sir.
Did it work for Clark and Rachel
3,
too?
7, 17.
I guess.
All right, he went all odds, Ken. Interesting choice. Can John Rocha counter with the slate of evens?
6, 8, and 19.
He almost did.
What's up with just
All
picking
right.
odds
John
or
Rocha, I'll
evens,
be
Mark?
answering the
You can
questions
pick
to
any
you, the
number you
outlaw,
want.
and Ken will be
You can
asking
have whatever
Mr.
you
Bateman.
want.
All right. John Rocha,
Yeah.
you selected number 6, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
For your 2-point question? That happens to be the category of Western.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There we go. All right. And your question is,
2 points.
who played Wyatt Earp In the film, Wyatt Earp.
Kevin Costner.
That's correct. 2 points.
2 points for the Outlaw. No
Kevin Costner has done a lot of
problem
westerns,
there.
apparently.
We move on.
He was in Open Range,
Category.
as I learned from John Rocha.
For that, you get questions in the world of Tom Hanks. And your question is, what American president gave Forrest Gump his Medal of Honor for Vietnam in the movie Forrest Gump?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
That is correct for 3 points. He knows his presidential
Nice
history.
job, John.
He knows
No
his Tom
TKO.
Hanks, and he forces the hand of Ben Bateman. Ken, over to you.
All right, Ben, your 2-point question will come in the category that number 3 corresponds to, which is horror. Who played the reporter Daniel Malloy in Interview with the Vampire?
One of those movies I have not seen.
Let him count it down, then you can answer.
Don't worry, I don't watch many horrors.
He gets us right. We're tied. We go to 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
All right, his second one. Who played the reporter Daniel Malloy in Interview with the Vampire?
Guys, we can hear you talking, please.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Christian Slater.
That's correct.
Seems like you do it all along, Ken. Burn to JT rule just for the fun of it. So now we have a tied ball game. It is 13-13, Marino to Marino. And here's the situation we have. John
Dan
Rocha
Marino.
has
Does that mean we're getting an
five-pointer.
Ace
Ben
Ventura
Bateman still
question?
has a 3-pointer on the table in addition to his 5-pointer. So Ben Bateman is going to be asked his 3-point question. And if he can force the hand of Rocha, we go back to Rocha for his 5 points.
All right, 3-point question coming in the category of, you chose number 7, which is sports. Sports movies. 3-point question. Who directed Miracle and
Oh, that's
Gavin O'Connor.
Yeah.
That was very
Yeah.
quick for Ben Bateman, and
I remember submitting a question about that. Who directed Miracle?
To where Rocha needs to hit this 5-point question, or else Ben
very
Bateman
long
will
ago.
have defeated him.
So yeah, that name I remember that name in the back of my head.
All right, John Rocha.
Although they
you selected
added
number
on
19.
Warrior to it as well, so
And Bernie
that's
Kosar's number
sadly not
corresponds
my
to the
question
category of
that was posted.
1990s movies.
Oh.
The very category you
Congratulations.
spun away from.
I'm no good at 90s movies.
In
All right.
round number 2. Now you have to answer
Yes,
this
I do.
5-point question, or else Ben Bateman will walk away here a winner, and his intern will get a raise.
He should. He needs a better suit. All right.
Rocha, your question is for 5 points. Name the 2 lead actors of the 1991 drama My Own Private Idaho.
Never even heard of this movie.
River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves?
Ladies and gentlemen, the questions go back to Ben Bateman.
Look at that.
Glad on my shield. Win or lose.
18-16. There is going to be no overtime in this match. Bateman gets it, he wins, and his intern gets a new shiny Porsche. If he loses, John Rocha is riding his dusty Geo Storm out of here victoriously.
Do we gotta say Geostorm?
You chose
Really?
number 17. 17 is Family Films. Family Films. 5-point question. In the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April's apartment was located above...
Oh, it's an antique store. Pawn shop, antique. I think antique store is more appropriate. I don't know if they would take pawn shop. Great question. It's still one of my favorite fight scenes ever.
5.
The fight scene in the in the antique store.
Please repeat the question.
In the 1990s,
Who the
Teenage
heck
Mutant
is
Ninja
that?
April's
Wayne
apartment was
Gretzky
located above
on
what kind of
steroids?
store?
Come on, Ben. You should know this. You grew up during that age.
Go to 5, 4, 3, 2.
A pizza parlor.
Oh no, no.
And your winner, the Outlaw.
Not a bad guess though. I mean, he at least got the Ninja Turtles thing about the pizza, but
And John Rocha Rocha is going to somehow
I would have
stumble
thought
his
Ben
way
could
out
know
of here
that.
with his blindfold.
Come on,
A
he's
happy
about
man because
he's about my
he's won
age.
over
He
Ben
should have grown
Bateman.
up
Ken,
when
you just
turtles
never
were
know with
around.
Bateman if he actually knows the answer and is
It's like a
toying with
freaking
all the
cult
Patreon viewers,
movie.
or if he actually is really trying to think hard about the question just asked.
We know when he doesn't know him, and he
Even though the movie has many video mistakes and errors,
slip-ups maybe earlier in the game, but John hung in
it
there.
Vintage
He had
Ninja
the
Turtles
old vibe going with that mask over
had
his
video
eyes.
problems in the cartoon. Guess it's only fitting they had him in the movie as well.
Sorts of sport, whether you're talking about football,
Like I remember there's a scene in that fight scene where Leo is literally talking to April, and at the same time during the fight scene he's fighting in the actual melee, and then immediately he's back talking with April again. So yeah, weirdness.
John Rocha if he beats Riley, and hopefully no physical harm will ensue to either opponent. Right now we go to Jen Sturger, who has the post-game interview with both the winner and the loser.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Jen Sturger here with John Rocha. Just a couple of badasses wearing black hats.
Guess I
right?
should look that
Oh, and Riley's here too.
pinky up, otherwise it'd be 4.
He's a badass.
Now
as
it's
well.
5.
I gotta tell you, you guys went down to the very last question.
Yeah.
Were you a little nervous during that match at all?
Oh, you don't take Ben Bateman lightly. You don't. I didn't want to play into their games. The team action is really good at getting under your skin, getting into your heads, and I purposely kept my distance from Ben, and during the match itself, I didn't let too much affect me, just wanted to play the game. The Crusher gave me great advice before the match. He just said, just take it one question at a time, trust you know the answers, answer them, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, you know, as many times as long as I've been in this league, sometimes you do need a refresher on the advice, and she was really great to do that.
Absolutely. You spun Denzel in the second round.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not an easy category. It could have gotten really specific if it hadn't gone actors. If it had gone plot details or names of things, I might have been in trouble. I got lucky. The Braille question, I totally forgot it was Braille. I thought because I remember him reciting it.
Blind.
Yeah, but he's blind, and I'm wearing a blindfold, so I will take shit for that. I'm sure.
The irony.
I'm sure. Yeah, but listen, Ben played a great game, back and forth. I thought he had it throughout the whole match. It's interesting to kind of lead back and not be so emotionally invested, but you know he played a hell of a game.
How do you think this win vindicates the Horsemen?
Well, it tells you I'm the leader of the Horsemen, and that just because one of us falls, it doesn't mean we fall. We pick each other back up and we keep going. That's what this is about. I put this great team together so that we could get belts and we could destroy all those records. This man right here, Mark Riley, another one who's coming. Ben played a great match, but we come for everything. That's the goal. That's what we're driven to do. Dan Merle and I, we got a date on September 8th to show more of what we know about movie trivia.
That's right, Riley, though. You're supposed to be going up against Andrew Guy.
That's right. Good stuff, right?
How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling good. I can't wait.
He's still a wild card.
He's a wild card, but I've also, I'm using the word fluke. That's more of a term that we need to use for Andrew Guy. So once I take care of him, the Horsemen will finally have their revenge. And look at that. We would play each other again, be a nice exhibition match, you know, for one of us to get the belt.
Listen, it's all about the Horsemen getting the belt. It's not about individual glory. This is a team. That's what we're all about, all right? So, Kalinowski, hey, KO. We go way back, my friend. I am not falling into your tricks. None of us are. If we play each other, we play each other out of respect. Whoever wins, we cheer the other one on to win that belt and take it off the beast. That's what this is all about.
Whew.
Take it off the beast.
You heard it there. I'm excited. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Jen.
All right, guys, I'm back with Ben the Boss Bateman. Ben, obviously that match didn't go quite the way you thought it was going to.
Yeah, it was a real shame. When you grow in business, sometimes you have to cut your losses at certain points and move on to expand. So you take hard losses. It doesn't mean you're not going to end up owning, you know, everything and everyone.
Right. Okay. So what happened out there?
I didn't know the 5. I haven't watched the Ninja Turtles since I was a small child. I knew Rocha's answers. I felt his questions were easier than mine, but I spun a strength. He didn't. It was a hard-fought match. At the end of the day, when you get 4 points in round 1, you deserve to lose the match. So it's just a shame he got 3 because he really deserved to lose the match.
All right. Obviously, with Anarchy coming up, there's just a lot of questions. What is next for Ben Bateman?
Well, it's going to be partnering up with another one of the Horsemen and stomping Rocha and everybody else into dust.
Yeah, that's
embarrassing
right.
him in front of
you're,
everyone.
You're pairing with Riley, which is it's kind of weird because Riley's supposed to be facing Andrew. Like, that doesn't put you in an odd spot.
Yeah, what's great about Riley is not only is he really great at movie trivia, but he's going to get over losing to Andrew really quickly. So we'll be able to fight really well together. It's going to be a really good match. Every one of the matches we play in the tournament, and he'll take that loss on the chin because, you know, my boy guy's on fire.
That's a great way to go into this. Thanks again for playing today. I'm sorry it didn't go your way, man.
Thanks, Jessica. You look great.
All right, well, Ken, you see there, I think both competitors really thinking about getting back on track as far as the Anarchy goes. Once we get into that tournament, it's going to have teams, but you look at what John Rocha has in front of him right now. A chance to fight Bibiani for the movie trivia belt if he can get by either Mark Riley, his trusted friend, or Andrew Guy, his hated enemy. Drama ensuing.
I love what I saw here today from both guys in the post-match interview. Still got that fire. Rocha is not done yet. Just when I think he thinks he's out, he's constantly pulled back in, sometimes by himself.
3.
Ben, he might be counted out here, but we've seen him come back before.
For as much as people crap on that movie, they seem to quote it a whole lot.
Early on, me and Rachel, and no one even remembers that anymore because everyone else has gone into glory, them included. So I think we still have a long way to go for both these players, but very interesting. John getting back in that winner's seat today.
Hey, Ken, can I tell you something?
Yes, sir.
I remember when you used to compete in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. You had a friend named Baby Carrots. It was good times.
Good times indeed, but now we're both retired.
Now we're
going down to Slammies for our free egg.
Get your egg at Slammies and make sure you guys.
What are you talking about? You're like Ric
movie
Flair.
trivia.
I will never retire.
For supporting the Patreon. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, you can join the Patreon and be the first one to see matches just like this. Select which tier is right for you. On behalf of the Schmoedown Rundown on a podcast network near you and the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page,
There I
This
is.
is the glorious afternoon podcaster Ken Knapsack, and we will see you guys real soon on another episode of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
And I've changed shirts again. So you saw the reactions all mixed up, and so probably a good thing that I did it that way, because obviously was not able to bring it up at the time, but the Rocha Kalinowski after credit thing obviously was not in the original Patreon version, so it's a good thing that I watched it all the way through and watched it in that order. So my overall thoughts on on both matches. Matt Cole Cruz, a little unfortunate. Got a question there at the end he just was not sure of. He returns, I'm sure, is going to come back to haunt him. Although I don't think it would have played a role in the outcome. I think he still would have came up a little bit short. So yeah, Jared Habon, another random person walking up to challenge Rosie Knight to a match. She said herself that seems to be the trend with her career right now. And Rocha and Bateman started out really, really slow. I was really surprised that they were not nailing their questions in the first round, but did pick up. Were getting a lot of their questions right as the match went on. But Ben Bateman, Antique Shop, Ninja Turtles, you're my age. You should know the Ninja Turtles movie by heart. Maybe the Michael Bay movie scared you away, which, if that's the case, I completely understand. So yeah, good action of doubleheaders on Schmoedown. Now we get into next Tuesday, which I believe will be Andrew Guy versus Mark Riley. And next week, I'm not sure what the match is going to be. They have not announced what the match is going to be, but I can tell you that I probably will not be reacting to it when it drops, or probably will not be reacting to it anytime at that moment, because obviously, as I've said, and as you probably know by now, I will be in LA for the Schmoedown Live. Hopefully I will get back Monday morning. That's the plan. That's when my flight is supposed to get back. Maybe when I get back on Monday, I will react to whatever that match is. Of course, probably being that it's probably going to involve the number one contenders match between Rocha versus whoever. I'm probably going to get spoiled as to who wins whatever it is. So I'll probably be able to see the match, but won't be able to react to it, so it's going to be kind of a pickle there. So, yeah, we'll just see how it plays out. Not really sure how that's going to work. So, overall, good doubleheader this week. Looking forward to the matches that will come next week, and obviously very much looking forward to the Schmoedown live event on September 8th. So, with that being said, that will do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Always watch their content first. It's the right thing to do. Follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. Follow the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown Twitter page at the Schmoedown. Follow the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page, as me and many other people do. And of course, if you can, become a Patreon supporter, and you can potentially become like Matt Cole Cruz. I'm just going to keep using that. I guess it's just a running gag for me now. I got to find running gags. That's what makes me funny. Not really, though. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. I'm JTH. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I bid you adieu.